How's it going, guys? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Decapitation, entitled Monolith of Inhumanity. This is scheduled to be released on May the 8th via Metal Blade Records. Now, to bring you up to speed with this band if you're not aware of them, I'm pretty sure you are, but just for those who may have never heard of Decapitation, they're based out of San Diego, California, and really, to me, this band is one of the absolute heaviest hitters when it comes to the death grind style of metal. I mean, taking your elements of death metal and grindcore and just fusing them together to create something so mind-numbingly brutal. I mean, if you want to talk about brutal, let's talk about their earlier material, their EP work, Human Jerky and Homivore. Those albums are just absolutely amazing. EPs, excuse me. They just really represented that sick gore grind style. I mean, in the vein of stuff like Carcass and Hemorrhage and General Surgery. Just sickening. Not only in the music, but in the lyrics as well. And those traits later followed them onto their full-length material when they signed with Metal Blade Records. I love all their albums. Each one is great and good in their own special kind of way. I mean, the first two albums are just absolutely nasty. To Serve Man and Humanure, just amazing. I love Humanure. That's my favorite album of theirs, to be honest. Then we get on to the later 2000s with albums like Karma Bloody Karma and The Harvest Floor. I thought Karma Bloody Karma was pretty good, although I thought it could have been a lot better, but that's just my personal taste. Then we get to The Harvest Floor, and my mind was just blown. Just absolutely amazing musicianship going on there. And it made me think what was going to be next from this band. We fast forward now to 2012 with Monolith of Inhumanity. We've heard the first single released, A Living Breathing Piece of Defecating Meat. How disgustingly brutal and heavy that song is. Just everything you would expect in a Cattle Decapitation song is there. Sick riffs, sick solos, audible bass, scorching fast drums, guttural vocals, and even some cleans. That's the surprising part of that song. But it only made me wonder, would the rest of this album live up to the hype? Would the rest of this album take 2 steps forward or 2 steps back? And how can I put this? I've listened to a lot of metal albums in 2012, but there has been something devoid from me. And what has been devoid from me is the ability to refer to an album in 2012 as absolutely perfect. The one to beat, so to speak. And with Monolith of Inhumanity, this is the one to beat. This not only blows away everything this band has ever done, but it just shows you the kind of skill, craftsmanship, expert qualities you would expect from Cattle Decapitation, and so much more. I mean, this is probably the most diverse thing this band has put out in quite some time. It has the usual Cattle Decapitation elements, but it dares to be different, and it dares to try something new. And while I get the feeling that some of these qualities of this album will freak the traditional Cattle Decapitation fan, I can assure you to not worry. This is what Cattle Decapitation was meant to do. This is the album I've been waiting for from them for a long time, and they deliver in more ways than one. The guitar work here is your usual Cattle Decapitation guitar, but only a lot more fine-tuned and a lot more heavier. The riffs on this album are just absolutely heavy and devastating. Just amazing, amazing guitar work. The solo work here is a lot more technical, a lot more well thought out and well crafted. Just amazing. I really love the way the guitar sounds on this album, and really, I can say this is probably the best guitar work I've heard on a Cattle Decapitation album in quite some time. Same can be said for the bass guitar. The bass is just absolutely audible, very well produced, very well mixed. You can hear it when it shows up. The moments where you just hear the bass by itself, it's just absolutely devastating, and it just suits so well with this album. It works so very well. I'm really, really loving and I'm totally impressed with the way the bass sounds on this album. Wish more death metal had bass as audible as that. Besides Cannibal Corpse, obviously, but yeah, this is amazing. The drums, oh my god. The drums sound so primal. They sound way more primal than anything I've heard this band do in a long time. I mean, just the way the double bass is, it's so blisteringly fast. The way the drum fills and drum rolls sound just so fast. You're going to wonder to yourself, is this really even happening? This is just so stamina-inducing. The drums are just amazing. So fast, so blistering, so heavy. Very well produced, very well mixed drum work. You can hear everything played and executed so very well. It's just amazing. And now we get to Travis Ryan. He's obviously one of the best vocalists in not only death metal, but metal as a whole in general. Just the range he has, from his ultra guttural lows to his depraved, evil growling, his highs, his screams. Everything is evidented on this album. But it does sound a lot more clearer and a lot more angrier. And I mentioned earlier with A Living Breathing Piece of Defecating Meat, there's some clean vocals. You heard that on the last album, The Harvest Floor. I think it was that one song, Regret in the Grave. But on this album, you can hear him doing cleans a lot more. Especially on songs like Your Disposal and Kingdom of Tyrants. You hear him break off into those really depraved, demented clean singing. I mean, it's not your harmonious kind of clean singing. It's a very rugged, evil kind of singing voice. And really, that just shows you why he is one of the best at what he does. And just the vocal performance he delivers here is just absolutely amazing. It's your classic Cattle Decapitation vocals, but with so much more added to them. Just the diversity of it all is just absolutely amazing. And I can tip my hat to Travis here for making such a fantastic vocal performance. I'm absolutely loving it. And not to mention the guest appearances on this album. I mean, take the track The Carbon Stampede. What that song basically is a Cattle Decapitation Cephalic Carnage jam session. Because you have everybody from Cattle Decapitation, but you also have members old and new from Cephalic Carnage. I think Lenzig does some screaming on that song. I think that's a really, really cool song. And take the track Projectile Ovulation, which features Mike Majewski from Devourment. That song is just freaking godly. Oh my god. You hear Travis's highs and lows, then you get to Mike's ultra guttural low vocals. You're just in awe of what's being heard and what's being done. Oh my god, this is amazing. Amazing. Incredible musicianship, a lot more technical prowess, amazing vocals, amazing lyrics, obviously, because this band is great when it comes to lyrical content, not only of the gory kind, but of the meaningful misanthropic style. This is what Cattle Decapitation know how to do, and they convey it so very well. I can't think of one bum song on this album, honestly. Even the instrumental, the Monolith, I think that's pretty damn helpful to this album as well. So overall, I gotta say without hesitation, this is my album of the year for right now. This is the one to beat. This is absolutely amazing. This is the best thing Cattle Decapitation have put out in quite some time. And honestly, I cannot wait to see what the next step in evolvement is for this band. This is a great, great record. Not a single flaw to be found for me. I mean, songs like Dead Set on Suicide, Forced Gender Reassignment, Gristle Liquor, Projectile Ovulation, Your Disposal, all amazing songs, so memorable, so catchy, and just kick ass. I definitely recommend you give this a try. If you're new to Cattle Decapitation, don't be afraid. Give this band a shot. They kick ass. This is an amazing album and my favorite album of this year so far, bar none. I've already made my pre-order. I know they're doing the whole pre-order package deals. I urge you to do so. Buy it the day it comes out. Do whatever you have to do. Support this band. So again, the album is Monolith of Inhumanity by Cattle Decapitation. This is released on Metal Blade Records. Mandatory purchasing. And I'm going to give this album the highest score I can possibly give, and that is a perfect 10 out of 10. Masterpiece. Best thing Cattle Decapitation have put out, and I cannot recommend this enough. Buy it. Get it. Support this band. 10 out of 10. Perfect. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.